It's finally here. After being delayed for several months, the most awaited feature from last year's WWDC has finally landed. It's called Universal Control, and it allows you to control your MacBook and your iPad as one. It's pretty cool. We're going to have a look at it in this video. Let's get into it. Very quickly, just before we go any further, if you are new here to this channel, my name is Scott Edwards. I make all sorts of videography tutorials and tech related videos. So if they are the sorts of things you are interested in, consider clicking that little subscribe button that's just down below there and come and be a part of this community. So at the moment, Universal Control is only available as a beta version, and that means you are going to need to do a few early upgrades to all of your devices that you want to work with Universal Control. So you need to update to the developer betas, which if you are going to do that, just make sure you have all of your devices backed up so you know you're not going to lose anything. If anything does, in the unlikely situation, go wrong with the upgrades, you've got everything safe. That is literally all you need to do. All you have to do to use Universal Control is place your iPad next to your MacBook or your iMac, whichever one you are using. There is no cables involved at all. Absolutely nothing. Everything is completely wireless. And it is probably my favorite feature that Apple have released in a very long time. So what I'm going to do is show you how it works. So we're going to unlock these devices. I have the MacBook Pro 14-inch and the iPad Pro. I've literally placed them next to each other. Then all you need to do is take your mouse from your MacBook, or if you are using a mouse with your iPad, you can use that. And then all you need to do is take the mouse and drag it, and instantly it appears on the other device with absolutely no lag at all. And you can just go between the two as easy as that. It is so good, and you can use that mouse to then interact with your iPad as you would with a mouse with your iPad. It is just absolutely flawless. So you can then go into Safari and type and use the keyboard. So say you wanted to go to YouTube on your iPad, you can do that and then scroll through YouTube on your iPad and interact with it as you normally would. As simple as that. And then over here on your MacBook, you can have, say, Lightroom open. So then you can be doing all of your editing of your photos inside Lightroom, making all of your adjustments as you wish to. And over here you can have a second display. Maybe you just wanted some notes open so you can see everything you're working on. I've got my video ideas listed in my notes app, and you can just scroll through there and use all of that and type in whatever you want to, and you're using it as a second monitor effectively, but interacting with it as it is an iPad. It just brings so many possibilities. Now where this gets really cool, and I think this is probably my favorite thing that you can use it for, is you can literally drag things across. So let's say I've been working on a thumbnail inside Procreate, and I have one here. This is from an old video that I released, but I ended up not using this thumbnail because I didn't like it. But I have this thumbnail here. If I just click and drag it, I can literally drag it over onto this second monitor on my MacBook. I can just go between the two like that and then drop it and open it on my MacBook, and there it is. And now I can do everything I need to it on my MacBook. I can upload it to YouTube Studio as my thumbnail. It's unbelievable, and it is absolutely flawless. There's no lag at all, and that is what surprises me most about it, because if you remember a few years ago, Apple released Apple Sidecar. Now this is still a feature that you can use, and if I just demonstrate that quickly now. So if we open up a Safari tab and we click Window and then move it to iPad, now you can see we have here pretty much a second display that we are using the iPad for. So again, we can interact with that exactly as we would do just like a normal computer, and we have little touch indications here, and we can touch at the bottom here as well. When I've used this in the past to help edit videos with, I've had my video files over on my iPad, and then I've just dragged them onto my main Final Cut window, which is over inside my MacBook, and I've just been dragging files across the two. Just using this as a second display, I have noticed little bits of lag. You're not using the iPad OS software on this, it's literally just a second display, but I have noticed when you're dragging things across and scrolling through, there can be a bit of lag when you are using Sidecar. Now if we just get rid of this and get out of Sidecar, I have noticed when you are using universal control, there is just no lag whatsoever. It is just smooth and seamless, and it just works so well, and you can do everything you want to. Maybe you want to scroll through Amazon while you're doing some editing. I don't really know why you'd want to do that, but you get what I'm trying to say. It just makes everything so easy. So where this is good for content creators, and I've made a video about this in the past before Universal Control was released and why I was excited about it, what is so good about it is that you can be doing things on your iPad, you can still interact with it with the touchscreen, whereas you can't in Sidecar. And that means that you can then be making adjustments inside Procreate, for example, and make changes to your thumbnails, and then literally drag them across into your MacBook, and that just speeds everything up so much. Now previously it didn't really take long, because all you'd have had to do was share it using AirDrop, and it would have pretty much instantly been on your MacBook, available to use as you wish over here. However, just being able to drag it and place your iPad next to your MacBook and drag things across, and vice versa as well. So say you are in your Files app on your iPad and you have your Files app open on your MacBook as well, and you want to drag a file across over to your iPad so it is available instantly to use, you can drag it over to your iPad and it's now here, and you can drop it wherever you want to. So say I wanted to drop it into my work file, I've now got it in my work file available there, and I can watch it instantly. I don't really know what else to say. It is just an incredibly useful feature. It's just magic. It defies, I don't know how it works. I don't think I want to know how it works, because the amount of algorithms and nonsense that would have gone into creating this. And I think the fact that it has been delayed for so long, because it was first announced back at WWDC, which was maybe June, July time last year, and was meant to be released when macOS Monterey was released and iPadOS 14. However, it got pushed back to now, which is a fair few months, and I think that just goes to show how complex this feature is and how much time and effort Apple have put into refining it and making it as useful and as flawless as it possibly is, and that is mind-blowing. I just don't know how it works. It literally is magic. I'm assuming it works in a similar way to AirDrop, but it just works so well, and I can genuinely see myself using it. I stopped using Sidecar because I didn't really feel the need to use it. This though, I think is genuinely useful, because as I mentioned, if you are a creative and you're working on things on your iPad, maybe it's thumbnails or graphic design, you can literally drag it over and drop it into a Final Cut Pro timeline straight away, drop it into your graphic design software, and I think I'm genuinely going to use it quite a lot. Go and check it out, have some fun with it, let me know what you think of it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, maybe you think it's a bit of a gimmick. I personally think it is quite useful, and I'll be using it a lot when I'm making thumbnails for YouTube. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like what you see in this channel, don't forget to click that little subscribe button down below and come and be a part of this community, and I shall see you all very soon in the next video. Forgetting my favourite thing in the world. Black Pro Mist, I love it. Look at that light, it looks so good.